Financial literacy provided by Hubert McIntosh, CPA. Financial literacy. Control your financial status.
Here's your host, Hubert McIntosh, CPA.
Good evening, good Sunday evening to you in South Florida. Well, today's September 17th. We can say it's a good Sunday evening. Last week, we couldn't have said that. Last week, we were bracing for the impact of Irma. And oh my, she did a damage on us. She put a whooping on us. But we have a lot to be thankful for. We got Irma downgraded. We got her at a Cat 1. I hate to imagine what would happen if we got Irma at a Cat 5. You have people still out. 3 million people in Florida still out of power. And we got her at a Cat 1. So we want to give thanks to Cuba. A lot of us may not have realized how beneficial Cuba was for us. Cuba took some of the beating from Irma and helped downgrade her, the mountains. And if you understand the geography and the science there, sometimes when a hurricane meets up into a place with high mountains, the mountains can help to decrease the wind and the impact. Irma maintained that Cat 5 for a while as she was traveling over water, and she was traveling over lands that did not have any mountains, so she sustained her Cat 5. So our hearts and our prayers go out to all the Caribbean islands that took a whooping. Yes, I know in Florida here and in the US, we got some beat up, but nothing compared to what the Caribbean islands got. And fortunately for us, sometimes we have more resources, so we can rebuild much faster. So our prayers go out to the islands. Barbuda was 95% destroyed. My understanding is that almost everybody there is homeless. St. Martin, both the Dutch side and the French side, so the islands took a whooping. So our hearts and prayers go out to them. So but we have a lot to be thankful for ourselves also, that it could have been worse. So that is behind us, and we're bracing ourselves. We live in Florida. You live in Florida. It's one of the things that we anticipate and we prepare for. You have different states that have different things that they have to be concerned about, like out west in California. And so, earthquake is very common there. In Florida, we don't have to be concerned about earthquake, but we have to deal with hurricane. So the debate can be which is better, earthquake or our hurricane, which is better. None is really better, but so we want to thank you for joining us. This is Hubert McIntosh, your CPA and a member of SOFA, bringing to you financial literacy. SOFA's mission is to help eradicate financial illiteracy in America, one community at a time. And I've joined with SOFA to bring that to this community. So thank you. So we are in the studio. 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. You can call us with your comments, your feedback, questions, or whatever. We are also, as you know, we are on the web. You can visit us on the website, financialliteracy.info, financialliteracy.info. You can link from there to our Facebook page. Yes, we have a Facebook page. You can link us there. You can like our page, and you can still tell your friends Tell your friends, your family members that we are on. Tell them the financial literacy guy is on. And we are gonna, you know, we have a topic we're gonna talk about. We are gonna talk about long-term care. Long-term care. We're gonna talk about that, but we'll get back to that. So the website, financialliteracy.info, financialliteracy.info, you go there, you can link us to the Facebook, you can go to Facebook, like the page, share the page with your family and friends. Still reach out to them, let them know that they can hop on. They can come through WAVS 1170, they can come directly through the internet, WAVS 1170, and they can come through financialliteracy.info. We have a link to WAVS 1170 so they can get us there. We also have the app on the phone, whether it's on your Android phone or your iPhone. You know, we are the iOS system. You can link, you can go into your store and you can subscribe to the app. It's a free app so that at least you can listen to us there. Okay? We also have an email address, support@financialliteracy.info, support@financialliteracy.info. So you can go on there, you can make your comments, you can send us your questions, any feedback you give us will always be greatly appreciated, because we're here, Sunday school, and we're bringing school to you, and there's nothing to a teacher that when the students give feedback. Because, you know, as teachers, when we share information, if we're not getting feedback, sometimes we're not sure if what we are sharing is impacting anyone. So we appreciate and we thank all our listeners that have joined us from the beginning of the year. Yes, we have faithful listeners that have joined us from the beginning of the year. I give big ups to you guys. Thank you so much. And we also have new listeners. We thank you also. We thank you because we know you could have been doing other things, but you chose to be with us. So thank you very much. You know, I spoke to a friend this week, and, you know, one of our long-standing listener from the beginning of the year, and he says to me that he's in tune, because he knows that the topic we're going to talk about this weekend will be very interesting. It's a topic we spoke about before. We spoke about long-term care before, but I think it's very imperative that we revisit it. One of the most impactful thing for Florida this past week when Irma came about was, you know, for those of you, I think most people have heard the story by now. You know, if someone wasn't here, you know, I imagine they may not have, but it's a story that has been nationwide and even in some case worldwide. What happened in Florida, and it happened at a nursing home. It happened at a nursing home facility. The last count I got, there were 8 people who died. I'm not sure what the count is further. It may have been because quite a few people were critical. So that story touched us so much that we wanted to bring back long-term care, to bring out some situations, what happened there. You know, it's not very easy when you hear of a tragedy. When you hear of a tragedy, you go and you says, well, we've been warning you. But sometimes when these things happen, they are for our benefit. Yes, it cannot benefit the persons who have lost their lives and have gone away. And, you know, our prayers go out to the family, you know, because the family is preparing funeral and burial and the family is mourning, you know. So our condolences go out to them. But when these things do happen, we who have experienced it or heard about it, we can take it. We can take it as a sign. We can take it as a warning, and we can prepare ourselves so that some of these things don't happen to us. Okay, so thank you very much. We understand that we have a caller on the line, so we're gonna go. Caller, you're on the line. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hi. Good evening. How are you?
Okay. I had a long-term policy with a very big company for 10 years.
Yes.
And just last year, I had a problem where someone had gone in my account and messed with it. And after having it for 10 years, paying $200 and something every 3 months, would you know that for $30 something they cancel the policy? They were trying to get me to cancel it before for a lesser policy because they say they weren't offering as much. And unfortunately, that happened to me. And for that reason, they canceled the policy and would not reinstate it.
Wow. Wow.
After 10 years of paying $880 a year.
Wow. What was the reason they told you? What reason they give you? I'm very curious as to what was the reason.
I left with a very bad taste. They didn't want to talk to me much. All they said to me, they didn't get the money on time. I paid and only leave. It was $2 something, and I sent leave $34. And for the $34 that I didn't pay, that's why they canceled it.
Wow.
I could prove to them that money was taken from my account fraudulently and everything.
Yes.
I didn't get any stat. The whole reason was because they wanted to take that policy away from me before, and then I just fell right in the hand when that happened.
Wow. You know, my sister, I am so thankful. I am saddened what happened.
And the agent did not even speak to me, much less to help me.
Yep. You know, you are bringing to the forefront one of the topic I'm going to talk about. And I'm glad that you said it before I get to it. And when I say I'm glad, I'm not glad for what happened to you. I sympathize with what happened.
Sir, I'm not a rich woman, and for 10 years, and just for that small fraction of our money, the company, I called the head office, and they would not work with me.
Yep. It's very, you know, and I know this does not give you comfort. This does not give you.
I really don't like use the word again because I'll never attempt to do that or anything because I'm not a rich person and I'm forcing myself to keep my sanity when I realize how much money gone down the drain.
Yes. But in the same breath, I want to encourage you about something. Just because that company mess you up, my sister, just because that company mess you up.
Look here, I'll never get that back because I'm not 16-year-old.
Yep.
And to lose all that, there's no way I can I would not. I don't even want to hear the name.
Yeah.
I just listen to you out of courtesy. That's the honest truth.
Well, I thank you for sharing. Because what you have gone through, as I say, I sympathize with it. It's sad, but it's very common. It is very common, and that is some of the thing I'm going to address because what has happened, when you signed up for this long-term care policy, one of the things that's going on, healthcare cost and facility cost have increased so rapidly in the last 10 to 15 years. When that company And this is so careful. You have to be so careful with the company that you're dealing with.
But this is one of the biggest company they have in the U.S. and
Yep.
I don't like to hear the name.
Yep. Without even asking you, I won't even ask you the name, but I know the very company that you're talking about. I know the very company you're talking about because right now they are not writing any more long-term care policies.
Oh.
They are not writing any long-term care policies. So when they got the opportunity to cancel yours, it was a blessing to them because they are not even right, my sister. I know exactly, but we're not here to defame anybody. We're not going to call their name, but they are not even writing policies anymore. They have come out of the long-term care space. They claim and they say that they're going to service the ones that was already there, but they're not writing any new long-term care policies.
But would you believe the audacity of the agent? She was there saying to me that, why don't you downgrade because the company is losing money?
Oh, my gosh. Well,
it's like a month after that took place, and I had proof to show that the money was taken out of the account. Fraud. They never have problem. I said, for 10 years, did you ever have problem with me paying? No. But
Yeah.
they still wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah. I sympathize with you, my sister. You got caught up. You got caught up in a thing that's going on there, and I sympathize with you. But what I want to encourage you, because you said you're not a young person, what I want to encourage you, sometimes when we have a setback because we were defrauded or whatever reason, sometimes we have to stop and don't lose our head, because here's the thing, and the topic that we're gonna talk about, my lead off question is the very thing that you're talking about, where I'm saying, is long-term care in your future?
No, sir, will not be.
But
what am I going to take and do after putting in for 10 years? Where am I going to get it to restart? My life has changed drastically since 10 years ago.
I understand. But what I'm saying, when I say is long-term care in your future, I'm going to generalize.
No,
the Department of Health.
I just listen to you.
Yes.
The courtesy of it, and that's as far as I will ever go.
Thank you, my sister. Well, use your experience to educate others. You know, if you choose not to get back into the space or even seek alternatives, use your experience, because sometimes
when you lose, you don't have it to restart nothing again.
I understand.
This is the sad part of it.
I understand. But what I'm saying, your knowledge, the knowledge you got, you can share it with others. You can share it with others, and what you share will multiply tenfold. You can share it with others. Sometimes things is that we cannot recover from something, but because of the experience we have, we can help others. So I would encourage you to share, because a lot of time it's a topic, it's a very confusing topic. People don't understand long-term care, and that's why we're going to go over and we're going to talk about it. And because it's such an important topic, we may even have to go to part 2 next week, because there's a lot of material. Because one of the confusion also, people are going on Medicare and they're thinking, and this is one of the sad part, many seniors going on Medicare are thinking that Medicare covers long-term care, and Medicare does not cover long-term care, but many seniors don't know that. So you and I, you can join the bandwagon. You and I can bring this message to our community, bring the message and educate people so that what beset you or before.
But I'm surprised that the insurance commission, all they say to me, they didn't do nothing for me. They say to me, oh, they can cancel your policy if you even owe them $1. That's all the insurance commission said to me.
I think it's something. When did this happen to you?
Just last year.
Last year, yeah. I think.
That's a whole lot of money to take away from a poor person.
Yeah, I think.
That's a whole lot of money.
Yeah. I think more could have been done, but sometimes when you don't have an advocate and you're speaking
I didn't know. I turned to the same company, and the agents wish they weren't there for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what else. I wish I'd known somebody like you. Probably I would have gotten better results.
Yes.
But I didn't have anybody, as you say, any advocate. I was on my own.
Yes.
And I tried insurance commission, and they weren't very helpful.
Yes. I sympathize, my sister. I sympathize, and I know your pain. I know your pain because I'm telling you, and as I said, it doesn't make the pain less, but it has happened to a lot of people, and right now, as you and I are speaking, it's happening to someone this week. I am telling you.
That's like stealing from poor people because, you don't get no kind of benefit. You make no kind of claim. And you're not entitled to not even a dime out of 10 years worth of payment.
Yep. That's the sad part of it. That's the sad part of it. It's the sense that it's like buying it. Sometimes that agent that sold it to you, I don't know, may not have been knowledgeable enough to explain the difference to you.
Oh, forget the agent. She never do nothing. All she said to me that they were losing money. That's all she said to me.
No, that's never a good excuse. You can't sympathize with the insurance company because the insurance company is losing money. That's not your problem. The insurance company, and that's what I'm saying, the insurance company should have made provision. The insurance company, so that's why I said this case could have gone further.
It's not that I was a custom of being late or anything, because when I said, look at my payment history, did you ever have a problem with me? No.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they did not do anything to me.
Yep. They were getting ready to come out of the space. They are no longer in the long-term care space. They were getting ready to come out of this space, and you happened to be a scapegoat, got caught up in it. You got caught up in it. Because normally there was a grace. Normally, they would have given you a 3-month grace, whereas if you're even late for 3 months, then they would reinstate it. But because they were getting ready to come out of the space, they were happy that they had that opportunity. So they used that clause against you, and they did not give you any grace period. But normally, most insurance company products, they give you a 90-day grace period. You're late. Most companies, that's what they do. Most good companies, that's what they do. And this company was a very reputable company. Very reputable, big name.
I know, because almost everybody I work with, that's the company they used to have.
Yes. They are no longer in the space. So, my sister, thank you for calling and thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for continuing listening, okay?
All right. Bye-bye.
You take care. Bye-bye. Wow. That caller that called, wow. My heart goes out to her. I know exactly what happened to her. And these are some of the warnings I want to share with you. That's why, as I was discussing with my wife, I says we have to share with the listeners again about long-term care. We shared it before, but sometimes we talk about a particular topic, and because there's not a current event to attach it to, sometimes we think, well, that's not us. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen to us. So one of the bad part about long-term care is what happened to this lady, in the sense that when you have a straight policy where it's just a long-term care policy, what happens is that you're paying into this, you're paying into it. Here she mentioned she was paying $200 a month. She's paying $200 a month, 200 and something dollars a month, which, work out to be 2,000 something per month. And over 10 years, you pay over 20 something thousand. So one of the challenge with long-term care policies, if you don't have the right type, what happens? You pay into it, and it's like you're paying into a black hole. You're paying in, and your money is just sinking. It's just sinking, and it's just sucking away like a vacuum. So in those 10 years, all the money she paid in, it just suck it up like a vacuum. It's just suck it up, and that's what happened to her. But what I want to encourage you, that even though that happened to her, so now you're getting that education, because we want to thank her for sharing her story with us, because with her sharing her story, it will help us that we make the better decisions and we make better planning. Because what happens is that sometimes you can have a straight long-term care policy, and you can have another vehicle, but it has a long-term care hybrid or a long-term care rider to it. So what does that mean? It simply means that your policy, you can have another policy that's beneficial for other things, and because it has a long-term care rider, you're getting the best of both worlds. But when you have a straight long-term care policy just by itself, you got to be careful, because you will pay in, and if you never ever use it, you have it for 20 years, 30 years, and you never ever use it, the money is just gone. Gone. But remember, I keep telling you about smart. I talk to you about the smartphone. I'm telling you, there are also smart long-term care policies. Do you know, and it saddened me for my dear sister, but do you know you have long-term care policy now that if what happened to her, if they have this new type, what happened, there's something called a ROP, where basically the company gave her, they'll cancel the policy because they don't want to pay in the future. But what will happen? They give a return of premium. These are some of the things that's out there. These are the new types of insurance where you get back a return of premium. But apparently when she bought it, they did not. That one, there are different types. It's just like you buy a car, you buy a cell phone. They have different features. So it's always good that you seek a professional that can give you those guidance. As I said to you, Sunday nights at 9 p.m., it's the fastest 1 hour in the week, because here we are, just started the show. We just started and it's halfway already. We thank our caller because she has given us a good segue. We're not going to celebrate her misfortune, but her misfortune is going to help. And I thank her for that testimony in the sense that, so we're going to dive into this, but we're going to go away. We're going to step aside to pay some bills. So hang in there with us. Get your pen, get your paper, because we are going to come back on the other side and we're going to drop some content on you. Stick and stay with us. We will be right back.
170.
1170 AM. It's Sunday night in the Caribbean month. Hubert McIntosh is a member of the Society for Financial Awareness, and he's the man.
Financial literacy provided by Hubert McIntosh,
CPA.
Financial literacy. Control your financial status.
Here's your host, Hubert McIntosh, CPA.
Meet Bob.
Hello, everyone.
Bob searched and searched for insurance, but grew frustrated with the high number of options.
Oh, no. What am I going to do?
Then Bob contacted the McIntosh Insurance Agency.
Bingo.
The McIntosh Insurance Agency helped Bob get affordable insurance that fit his unique needs.
Oh, I'm happy I found this guy.
Be like Bob. Go to McIntoshinsuranceAgency.com or give them a call at 561-300-2444.
You won't be sorry.
Looking to make your business or service more financially literate? Contact us and we can make it happen. Advertise on our weekly program to be showcased to potential clients all over Jamaica and South Florida. Call us at 754-366-7311 and we can help you and your business or service grow. 754-366-7311. 754-366-7311.
Would you like your business to maximize its return on investments? Then contact Wealth Management and Distribution Group. Wealth Management and Distribution Group will help you minimize your tax liabilities. It doesn't matter if you're an individual, an entrepreneur, or a small business. Protect your assets for you and your loved ones. Maximize your return on investment with Wealth Management and Distribution Group. Get more information at WMADG.com or call 954-701-4730.
For sticking and staying with us. This is Hubert McIntosh, your CPA and a member of SOFA, the Society of Financial Awareness, with one goal: to help eradicate financial illiteracy in America, one community at a time. And I have joined with SOFA to bring that literacy to this community. So thank you for joining us. We're in Sunday school, so get your pen, get your paper. We got 30 minutes left. We got half an hour. We're going to drop some content on you. But remember, even though we are with you Sunday nights just for 1 hour, you have 24/7 access to us. Yes, you do. You have the website, financialliteracy.info, financialliteracy.info. You can go from there. You can go straight to the Facebook page. You can like our page. You can see the information that we're sharing. You can go to our Twitter page. Yes, we also have a Twitter page. You can tweet us. We will respond to you. And remember, we have a YouTube page. Yes, we have a YouTube page. So all the shows, yes, we have a YouTube page. We have a YouTube channel. You can go into YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel. And what happened there, you have the recordings. We have all the recordings from the beginning of the year. Any program that you may have missed and you want a refresher on it, you can go and you can listen to the program. Yes, from January 1st, we have all the programs on YouTube. So sometimes even something that you may have listened to and you have a friend that you think, or a family member that you think it may be important to, don't keep us a secret. Send them the link. Send them the YouTube link. You can send the YouTube link via text. You can send it via email. There are many ways. You can even send the YouTube link through WhatsApp. Yeah, you can even send it through WhatsApp. So don't keep us a secret, because remember, as I said to you, you have knowledge. You have knowledge. Share it with others. And as you share it with others, we will help minimize working towards eradicating financial illiteracy. So I want to thank my caller again that shared with us. She went through an unfortunate situation. But we're going to learn from hers. She's very frustrated about it, and rightly so. So it is very important that when you're doing any type of long-term care planning, long-term care planning. And I want to emphasize the word. I want to emphasize the word long-term care planning. I am not talking about just long-term care insurance. Long-term care insurance is a product. Hear me properly. Long-term care insurance is a product. Long-term care planning is a process. So you're dealing with two things here. You're dealing with process versus product. When you buy a product because someone is pitching a product to you or selling a product to you, that product may not fit your needs. Yes, it may not fit your needs. Hence the necessity for planning. So we want to do long-term care planning. Don't focus on buying long-term care insurance, okay? Because remember, I keep talking to you about the smart insurance. We go back, we talk to you about the phone, the cell phone. 30 years ago, the first phone was a Motorola brick phone. But since that 1986 launch of the Motorola brick phone, now we have smartphones. So if your insurance, whether your life insurance or whatever, if your insurance is not the smart insurance, you need an upgrade. I have kept telling you this. You need an upgrade. This week was an eye opener for us, because this thing happened at this nursing home facility, where 8 people died so far. What happened in this situation? I don't know all the details. I don't know all the facts. But what happened, and we're not going to go into all the details, but you can read it. What happened? Some corners were being cut. Expenses were being spared. Expenses were being spared by the provider. And what happened in this particular case, because the expenses were being spared, people lost their lives. And it's sad to say, I'm not saying it couldn't happen into other facilities, but what you find when a facility is catering just to lower income, sometimes the quality of care is not there as much. The quality of care, because many things these lives could have been saved. What happened was inexcusable. It's inexcusable what happened. This was not an accident. This was an accident getting ready to happen. We all knew Irma was coming. Irma did not come as a surprise. A facility with 200 people plus should have made better preparation, and it saddens me. I am irate about what happened. These lives could have been saved. It's inexcusable what happened. You cannot roll the dice with people's lives. Irma was coming. You got to make better preparation, especially if you're responsible for people's lives. If you're in your home and you choose not to prepare, then that's a personal decision. But when you are running a facility, with people's lives, you got to make better preparation. So come back again. I'm very irate about what this situation, but what I want to emphasize is comes back to the quality based on the place you're going to go. And sometimes I do understand if the person didn't have the finance, then they can only go to certain places. But that's why I want to emphasize to you the planning. Remember, you're dealing with two things. You're dealing with your current lifestyle and your future lifestyle. And remember, our program is about personal economic model. So you're living your current lifestyle and you're not thinking about your future lifestyle. Well, I'm going to bring some fact to you. So here's a question in long-term care planning. The first question we ask ourselves: is long-term care in your future? This is the question you have to ask yourself. December 31st, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Resource Services released some data. Statistically, 70% of people over age 65, 70%, folks, of people over age 65 will need some type of long-term care. That means if you line up 10 seniors who are 65 and over, if you line them up in a room, 7 out of those 10 is going to need long-term care. 7 out of those 10. If you want to roll the dice and says, well, you're not going to be in the 7, that's not planning. That's rolling the dice. And I've spoken to you about this on this radio before. If you want to roll dice, there are places to roll dice. Yes, there are places to roll dice. You can roll dice on cruise ships. You can roll dice in Las Vegas. You can roll dice in Atlantic City. But you don't roll dice with your life. You don't roll dice with your family life. You don't roll dice with that. You have to plan. You have to plan, folks. Wow. Now, I apologize for tonight, but I'm just irate tonight. I'm irate tonight. I didn't know any of those people that died this week. But, when you see something that could have easily been prevented, it could have been prevented, but because you have administrators and you have people cutting corners to save expenses and roll the dice with people's lives, it's something that irate you. And you know what happened. That's exactly what happened. Wow. So let me go along. What is long-term care? What is long-term care? These people, all of those people in that facility, every single one of them, all over 200 of them, it was a long-term care situation. It was a long-term care situation. That's what it is. That's why they were in that facility. Okay? Nursing home, assisted living facility, home health, home care. Those are long-term care facilities. So what is long-term care? The definition then: ongoing services and support needed because of chronic health condition or disability. Let me repeat it. Ongoing. I'm not talking one time, because if it's just one time, that's not chronic. Ongoing services and support needed because of chronic health condition or disability. There are 3 levels of long-term care. 3 levels. You have skilled, intermediate, and personal care. Skilled, intermediate, and personal care, they all gonna carry a different price tag. Okay? Care can be provided in a variety of settings. Yeah, in a variety of settings. You have some care that can be at the home. Yes, in-home care. There can be in-home care. Care can also be at an assisted living facility or other senior living facility. It can be at an adult daycare center, or in a nursing home. And you might, whoa, Hubert, what did you just say? I thought they were the same. No. Adult daycare center is different from in a nursing home. And let me take the time to explain. It's just like you may have your kids, and you may take your kids to pre-K. You're taking them for kindergarten, pre-K, and you take them, you drop them off in the morning, and you pick them up in the evening. So while you're at work, your kids are being cared for. The same situation happens to adult. You have people will take their loved one, whether mom, dad, whatever, and they'll take them to an adult daycare center. The difference between an adult daycare center and a nursing home or senior living facility, even though the daycare is being taken, is happening at these places, daycare means that it doesn't pass 24 hours. And let me clear that up, because sometimes people are confused with that, because they hear daycare and they're thinking that daycare is the same like kids in the morning, because I even just use it as an example which could have misled some people, where you drop the kids off in the morning, you go to work, then you pick up the kids in the evening. Adult daycare is a little bit different, even though it's similar. The definition of daycare for adult mean it's less than 24 hours. That's what daycare mean. That mean while they're at the facility or the resort, whichever one you take it, you notice I said facility and resort, and you thought it was a misspeak. No, it wasn't. Facility and resort. The resort is gonna be the more expensive ones, because you're gonna get better care. Well, you're supposed to. So you have the facility, yeah, they put you there and yeah, they take care of you. But the resort, now when you go to a resort, yeah, wow. So the difference there, adult daycare, just remember that. It doesn't mean morning, 6 o'clock to 6 in the evening. It means less than 24 hours. So what people do, you have people who have seniors that they have to take care of, that they are the caregiver, that they will be going on a date, whether it's a dinner date or a half a night cruise. They'll take their loved one to an adult daycare. So don't confuse it, because it says daycare. It doesn't mean it necessarily happened in the day. It can be 6 o'clock in the evening to 5:59 tomorrow morning, because it's less than 24 hours. You get I think you get it what I'm saying. So it's as long as it doesn't pass the 24 hours, it's classified as daycare. Okay? I hope I've cleared that up a bit. All right. So what's the challenge? What is the challenge? Folks, here's the challenge. This is the part I want you to get your pen, get your paper if you didn't get it before, because this is new statistics I'm giving you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This came out December 31st, 2016. Okay. The average nationwide cost of nursing home care, yes, just now, December 31st, the average cost $74,820 per year. Folks, I didn't stutter. $74,820. You remember I shared with you the other day that the maximum people can get for Social Security is approximately $3,000 to $3,200. Multiply that. Social Security, $3,000 per month times 12 is $36,000. $36,000. So this is the income without proper planning. If you're just thinking that your retirement planning can be funded just by Social Security, here's the challenge, folks. Social Security, the maximum, and not many people get the maximum. Now, we're not going to go into this because this is not Social Security planning. We're not going to go into the calculation. But the maximum, $3,000 to $3,200 maximum. So that means someone is getting $36,000 as maximum. Here's the challenge. Folks, what happened if this person who's on Social Security, that's their income, They have a long-term care condition that they weren't planning for. I just told you the average nursing home is $74,000. Do you realize what I just said? The nursing home is twice the income for Social Security. And that's the maximum. The average Social Security people get is $1,400 per month. $1,400 per month. That's the average. You do the math. $1,400 per month. That's $16,400 per year, folks. That's the average what people get. When I said $3,000 per month for Social Security, I'm not talking about the average. $3,000 is the max. The average Social Security is $16,400. So listen to what I just said. If the average Social Security is $16,400 and the average nursing home is $74,000, do you realize that's 5 times the average income? And you remember the other statistics I shared with you, that by 2050 we're gonna have 4 million centenarians. 4 million people are going to be 100 years old or more. And remember the other part of that statistics, 99% of them would have run out of money. Do you realize, do you see what I'm talking about? So you have this person who runs out of money, and then a chronic condition comes upon them and they need long-term care. You ask yourself, what's going to happen to that senior? Ask yourself, what's going to happen to that senior? You can feel bad when it's somebody else, but let me ask yourself, what if that person is you? What if that person is you? Folks, it's not a pretty topic. And I knew it wasn't going to be a pretty topic. And the lady started out the program. She called in and she shared it. Here's this lady. She had the best of intentions. The best of intentions this lady had. For 10 years, she was paying into something. Then she lost it. But she got it, and she did not get the best plan. Did not get the best plan. Because if she had the best plan, it would not have been canceled for even one late payment. That's why it's very important to do your research. Get a financial professional who can guide you. Don't just go on the internet and look for something that has a low price. Something you're gonna get what you pay for. You need a professional to guide you. Okay? So, $74,820 per year. This was December 31st, 2016. It saddens me, but the story gets worse. The story gets worse. So I already see that the time is up on us. So we'll have to continue this. We're going to continue part 2. So you can make a note that next week we're going to do part 2 on this, because it's too important of a topic for us to just blow by and just forget about it. Because what I'm going to share with you right now, you mark your calendar for next week. You call your friends. You put it on your calendar. You send email invite to your friends, because next week we're going to dive into this. Because here is the next statistic I'm going to drop on you. I told you the average cost, $74,000. That was last year. That was a statistic that came out December 31st by the Department of Health and Human Services. But guess what happened? It gets worse. The cost is rising at 3% per year. The cost is rising at 3% per year. So do this math. 74,000, which is rising at a cost of 3% per year in 20 years. 20 years. 20. the average cost will be $135,000. $135,000 will be the average cost for a nursing home. $135,000. If that does not drive you enough that you make sure you send out this information to your friends, any loved one, if you have any loved one and you don't believe to share this information, I'm just being real with you, then I have to question your love. I really have to question your love. I really have to question your love. And I know some of you may be saying, but you're meddling. But in this particular case, this is a life and death situation. I have to meddle. I have to disturb you. Because if the cost is $74 last year, the average cost was $74,000 per year for a nursing home, while the average social security income is $1,400 a month, which is $16,400 per year. So if the average income is $16,400, the average cost of a nursing home is $74,000, and many of you, your retirement planning is based on social security. Do you see the flaw in your planning? Are you seeing the flaw in your planning? Social security will not sustain you. It's not possible. And it was never intended to. Social security was supposed to be a supplement of what you have. Social security can't sustain you, and it saddens me. I go around and I'm even doing people's taxes, and they're even calling me. Their only income is social security. If your only income is social security, you don't have to file any taxes. You don't have to file any taxes. So people are going around telling people, oh, when you get older, your tax liability is going to be less. Let me ask you, if your tax liability is less when you get older, it simply means you have a problem. It simply means you have a problem. Because if your social security average is $16,000 and the maximum social security is $36,000, how are you going to live? So as I said, I just want to drop that on you, leave you. We're going to pick this up. We're going to give a summary of what happened tonight, and we're going to pick this up. So make a note, support@financialliteracy.info. That's our email, financialliteracy.info. Go to the Facebook page, like the Facebook page, share with your friends, share with your family members, share with your loved ones, because we're going to continue this next week. If you have anybody at all that you are even saying that you love, you need to share this information, because next week we're going to continue it. This is too critical of a topic for you not to share. 7 out of 10 seniors over 65 will need long-term care. So this is Hubert McIntosh, your CPA, a member of SOFA. I'm with you every Sunday night at 9 p.m. But we are 24/7 access. Go on the website, financialliteracy.info, and call me directly, 754-366-7311. 754-366-7311. This is Hubert McIntosh. Thank you for joining us. And next week, join us. We're going to continue with long-term care. Have a great evening.
Financial literacy with Hubert McIntosh on Waves 1170 has come to an end.